Hi, today I'd like to talk about sleep and how to improve sleep. In Ayurveda, we have concepts of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and I'm going to assume that the watchers of this video know that, and if not, you can refer back to my Foundations on Ayurveda videos on YouTube and learn about these concepts of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, or these three humors that Ayurveda bases its entire system on. There are terms that are literally tips of an iceberg, and there's a lot to discuss when it comes to Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. But insomnia is driven by mainly Vata dosha, secondarily Pitta dosha, and least of all Kapha dosha, although sleep apnea, rhinitis or sinusitis type issues, seasonal allergies that can push Kapha dosha, inflammation and phlegm, Pitta pushing Kapha. So we can see there's a lot of different scenarios that can affect sleep. But the most important thing is to first understand that Vata is the principle of movement, and if we want to benefit sleep, we must be getting enough movement, enough exercise, enough demand on the body to make it tired. A lot of the times we don't exercise enough. We aren't active enough, and that can disturb sleep. And also, too much activity, where we are pushing and pushing the envelope or burning our wick at both ends. This type of wired to tired energy doesn't lead to good sleep. We might be exhausted when we go to bed, but we'll wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and not be able to fall back asleep. If Vata is really aggravated, that light quality of Vata is much increased, then we'll have a hard time even falling asleep. So Vata is a main driver. So one thing to understand with Vata is that it is irregular, it's erratic. And if we can if we can drop an anchor, so to speak, and just kind of stabilize ourselves, this is key. And a crucial way to drop that anchor and to stabilize Vata dosha is to develop healthier habits around when we go to sleep and when we wake up. It doesn't have to be down to the minute, but it should be a reliable time that is our bedtime, and a time that we wake up in the morning and look forward to exercising, breathing practices, meditation, eating a good breakfast, if we take breakfast, nourishing breakfast. So healthy routines around sleep. A good time to go to sleep is between 9 to 10 p.m. I mean, that's really ideal. If people have to get up earlier, they do shift work where it alters their schedule, then that's something that we have to work with individually. But this is just for a general umbrella of what would be good to do to support sleep. So here we want to make sure that we're getting good nutrition at proper times, so our bodies can expect good healthy nutrition, the fuel that we need to get through our day, so again we don't wind up being exhausted at the end of the day, malnourished to some degree at the end of the day, where we're not firing on all cylinders. Okay, so good routine around sleep, good routine around our meal times. These are topics that we could digress into, but right now I'm just being general with it. Another aspect of sleep hygiene is tuning off of the screens, media. At least an hour before bed is ideal for those that can do that. But especially emails, computer work, sitting there and typing and bringing your work home with you and almost to bed with you. So, if people say, I like to watch a show on TV at night to just unwind with my family, what have you, I don't make a big deal about things because I don't like to be too strict. Ayurveda shouldn't be too constrictive, and we can make anything we can package something too tight and we can't comply to it, we can't follow it and make it a part of our life. But most importantly, checking emails, being on social media, working late, these types of things can really disturb. If we can have downtime to relax, to do some gentle meditation, some yoga, of course, this is ideal. Maybe reading a good book, that kind of thing. So we have a lot of light pollution if we live in the cities, so blackout curtains can help, covering computer lights, digital clocks, anything that that can brighten up a room, that can certainly help if we can make our sleep space dark and quiet. These also help. Then there's a lot of that we can do to support sleep when it comes to active therapeutic relaxation, like corpse pose, yoga nidra, power naps in the middle of the day. Super helpful. If we have a very busy lifestyle and we can carve out some time to just have a little relaxation where we can drop in. That might be occasionally getting a regular massage, maybe once a week, midday taking a little power nap if we have the leisure to do that, or laying on a yoga mat, face up on your back, maybe put some bolsters and just get yourself comfortable so you can drop into some nice deep relaxation. For even 15, 20 minutes can make a big difference. So when we get to the end of the day, we're not running on fumes and not able to sleep well. It's an accumulative effect of vata over the course of the day that we're wanting to look at. That's why I encourage people that have sleep issues to look and observe, what time at night are you going to sleep? And what time do you wake up in the early morning hours? Do you wake up at 3 a.m. every day, or 4 a.m., almost like clockwork? I would just encourage you to check in at what your energy is like at around 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Are you exhausted? Are you needing that power nap? Are you needing to just kind of take a little time out? Maybe nourish better, hydrate better. What's going on that seems out of balance? Because that afternoon time is mirrored in your early morning hours a lot of the time. And I observe this with clients, and I almost always see patterns of what's happening in the afternoon, what's happening in the middle of the night. People may come in and say, I'm getting this cortisol dump. My adrenals are off. I'm waking up at 3 or 4 a.m. I'm like, well, what are you doing around that time in the afternoon that's supporting that pattern of waking up in the middle of the night? And this gets into a whole different topic on the biological clock related to Ayurveda that we won't get into now. But part of that biological clock is that at different times of the day, different organs are more predominant in their action. And so if we are having a lot of deep fried food at dinner time, chances are we could wake up at liver time at around 2 a.m. And that's something that I can observe for myself, being sensitive to deep fried foods. And I notice that, wow, that really disturbs my sleep. I notice with people that I give digestive herbs or eliminatory herbs to cleanse the system, especially the GI tract, but even, deeper cleansing herbs like Raktashodhana herbs that cleanse the liver. Sometimes doing some gentle cleansing with these herbs can support sleep. I've seen people who take alterative herbs like predominantly bitter Raktashodhana herbs, which are blood cleansing herbs. I've seen those herbs improve sleep for some people that have liver stress. For people that have kidney adrenal stress, I've seen those folks benefit from taking herbs that have affinities in those directions. And so sometimes we want to, we always want to look at the big picture of what's happening and not always just say, oh, you have sleep issues, take this compound with 5, 6, or 8 heavy relaxant herbs like hops, passion flower, kava, valerian, all these herbs that are relaxants. Sometimes it's not the relaxants that are going to improve sleep. Sometimes they're just the ticket, and at other times not so much. And that's why we have to observe everything that's going on. Diet, lifestyle, routine, and patterns that exist throughout our day. It's not rocket science. With good consultation, it often becomes apparent, even in the first or second visit, what patterns are at play that are contributing to the insomnia. Coffee or caffeine, chai, coffee, black tea, green tea. Some people are extremely sensitive to caffeine, and others are not as sensitive. And but even if you're not sensitive, if you have sleep issues and you say, oh, I quit coffee for 2 months and it didn't help my sleep, I would say maybe coffee is just adding to that overall accumulation of dosha that's leading to insomnia, and just removing that aspect doesn't bring the quantitative rise of dosha down enough to promote healthy sleep. But if we do other aspects, both herbally, routines, sleep hygiene, if we combine, it is a multifaceted kind of comprehensive approach at dealing with an issue like this, then that kind of wraparound therapy often brings better results than just trying every single compound at Whole Foods on the shelf for sleep, maybe to no avail. I'm a supporter of natural products. I use them in my practice, but I tell people, clients, students, that just because a label says something is good for something it doesn't always bring that promise of that particular label. So, just because something says it's good for sleep, it may not improve sleep, and it may not be exactly how we need to address sleep. Okay, so if you're one of these types that has exhausted themselves and as far as how many different supplements you've used for sleep, and GABA, melatonin, and on and on and on, I would say smart supplementation can help with herbs and other nutritional supplements, but even more important than that, we have to look at the overall picture first so we can create that smart routine and regime, okay, both herbally and our lifestyle. I hope this has been helpful. I would like to continue to talk about this topic in further videos, so I may share some more where we break down specific herbs. And if you have anything that's helped you, feel free to chime in the comments, and look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Namaste.